just to give you a little bit about what is essential oils, I'm going to say it's the lifeblood of the plants. They can be found in different areas of the plants, in their flower, their stems, their leaves, their bark, their fruit. It's usually extracted through a steam distillation, and they are used by the plants to protect them from disease and provide nutrients. Well, we in this day and age, and I heard many people speaking about how the different ways they use the plants. And yes, they can pamper you, they can clean you, they can calm you. But we're going to talk about the oils that have pharmaceutical properties and how they can work on healing you. They can fortify your immunity, and in this day and age, we need as much immunity as we can bolster our system to be. They can be antiviral, they can be antibacteria properties, and they can help eradicate bacteria and viruses. And they do that in different ways, whether it's antifungal, antiseptic, anti-inflammatory, and I have used every aspect of them. Let me just go back and say a little bit that during the time when COVID was first coming out and people were really worried about how am I going to protect myself, I was using the following oils in my diffusers constantly in the house. I wanted to keep the air clean. I just wanted to have a way of knowing that I am surrounded by the protective powers of the oil. So I would mix.
Oh, hey, Reka, can you do me a favor and mute out for me?
Do what?
Go ahead and mute. I'm sorry, Linda. Yeah, because I didn't want it to throw us off too much. Yeah, okay, thank you.
Is it Linda muted?
Yes, she is. Okay, how does she get muted? Yeah, Linda, you're muted. I don't know how. There you go.
I don't know what happened.
Yeah,
Okay,
sorry.
I think I'm back.
You're back.
Did you hear me speaking about the oils that I was using in the diffusers? And I used a lot of eucalyptus, a lot of basil, and I was using that because I wanted the air to stay clean. I was spraying my body when I came inside with oils. And one of the powerful oils is the interesting oil called thieves oil. And people say, well, how did thieves oil get that name? The legend is that, okay, it's an antiviral essential oil. And the legend is that during a plague, probably the 1918 plague, no, even before the bubonic plague and all that, thieves were stealing from corpses. And when they were finally caught and brought before the judge, it was found, the judge said to them, how have you stayed alive and not caught the plague when so many people were dying around them? And Galaxy S8
Yeah, it needs to be muted. Yeah, I'm trying to mute now. Yeah, I think we got it.
Okay, so the judge said to them, how were they not able to how were they able to prevent themselves from catching the plague? And the reason they gave was due to the combination of oils that they had used, and that became known as thieves oil. And you can buy that in health food stores. And it was another oil that I was using in my diffuser. So I have to say, I was going to talk about in this talk, I was going to speak about rather those oils that I have personally used and what I have done with that. Now, I already spoke about eucalyptus oil and basil oil, and they were going constantly in my diffuser. I got to the point I sent diffusers with oils to my mother. I sent it to my mother-in-law, and they were like, what is this? Why am I using this? I said, please just burn it. And they were really confused, but they did it. I thankfully tested for COVID-19 and came back negative. So I said, wow, both my husband and I came back negative. I said, I must have been doing something right because I wasn't sitting in the house all the time. I had to go out for essential products and to deliver my masks and things like that. But again, I stayed, I continued to keep myself clean whenever I came back. Another one of my favorite oils is oregano oil. Oregano is powerful. You have to almost use it in a diluted form because you can never, well, some people dilute it and take it internally. I don't mess with it like that. But it is, many people have seen it as a condiment rather, to flavor foods. And yeah, it does do that, but they don't recognize that it's also a powerful antibacteria because of the high levels of active compounds that are in it that slow the growth of the bacteria. Um, it's a natural antibiotic. It lowers cholesterol and it's a powerful antioxidant. Now, my personal testimony about oregano oil is this. Whenever a doctor tells me you have this, you have that, you have the other, I want to prescribe this, that, and the other to take care of it, I say, one moment, let me see what I can use naturally before I start taking medicine. So I looked it up and I was told by one podiatrist that I had a fungus on my big toe. I'm like, what? How dare that invade my body? It has to be gone. So I talked to the doctor at the next visit about oregano oil. Do you know, she told me, she says, I'm not supposed to say this, but I have found there have been some people who have used Vicks Vapor Rub and wrap it around the fungus area, and it's been found to be a cure-all. I'm just saying. So I took the oregano oil and I made a compound with it, and I put it on the toe, and I wrapped it. And then alternate days I use the Vicks. The fungus is gone. No medication. So it really did attack that fungus. It really is an antifungal. I'm here to tell you, it really, really did work. Another one I love, love, love. It was mentioned, someone mentioned they really use lavender a lot. And I love the smell of lavender. It's such a great smell, but it's a very versatile and it's very popular. It promotes relaxation. It's in this day and age, we need to have it treat the anxiety that many of us have experienced. I know I have at times, and allergies and depressions and insomnia and eczema and nausea and menstrual cramps. It does a lot of things. But whenever I have a cut, a scratch, or a burn, I put lavender on it. I don't use the old home remedies of, oh, put some butter on it, it'll be okay. I put lavender on it. I am telling you, my cat once, I don't know, we weren't fighting, but she was trying to get away from me. And she scratched me. And I said, oh God, I don't want this to leave a mark. I have never had a mark after I have used that oil. It is really, really, really effective. Now, although this is not used as an essential oil per se, I want to tell you about the berries and the flowers of elderberry. They are packed with a lot of antioxidants and vitamins, and it does really boost your immune system. I'm a believer, and men are hard to get to be believers, but my husband's a believer. Whenever we feel anything coming on, we go get that elderberry, we take that elderberry, and I'm telling you that with vitamin C gets rid of the problems. With this whole oils, or with all these oils, you could go on and on about the amazing powers of the oils. And again, It's because they are natural. They were made for us to be used to be healed. And so I am a believer and I wanted to share that with you.
Mm-hmm. Nice. Very nice. So what I'm going to do now, Linda, is I'm going to take a few questions that were put in the chat just so that we can,
Okay.
you know, kind of make sure we're addressing some of the questions. And I think Wanda wanted to know, is there anything for migraine headaches? Anything that can help with essential oils that can help with migraine headaches?
I would use the lavender, most definitely, in a diffuser. It is really a calming scent. Believe it or not, even peppermint and wild orange. Wild orange is really a powerful smell, but it opens up your system. Now, what I did when I was we were going through the, real serious time of COVID, is I would take and boil a little bit of water, put some, what is it? Just escaped my head, Epsom salt into it, maybe a tablespoon, some orange peel, and some oils, whether it was peppermint oil or wild orange. After it got to simmer, I'd take it off, put it on the table, make a tent with a towel, and breathe it in. Open my mouth, get it all up in my lungs, get it all up in my nose, get it all up in my system. That is really an effective way to relax you, to heal you, to open up your entire system. I would try doing that for that migraine. Another thing, just FYI, you see this point right here on your thumb point? If you hold this, and I have done this numerous times to strangers and it always works. You hold it, you press it, you breathe, about 30 seconds. Do it on the other hand. Hold it, press it, breathe. Massage your hand, massage your hand. Do it some more. Hold it, press it, breathe. Both sides. And while I'm doing that, I then go to the back of the neck to loosen it up, to allow the blood to circulate. Feels good right now. And it really, 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 really works with migraine. It has consistently, I've never failed with that. Hold it, press it, breathe deeply. Right here. It always works.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Linda. Let me see. Somebody asked what was the oil that the men who lived through the plague, what was the name of that oil?
It's called thieves oil.
So it was thieves oil. Yeah.
Yes. And it is really I didn't call the recipe of it, but it is in all the health food stores. In fact, when I went to Olive May in Main Street, that's a big one that's been around for 30 years. It's in East Orange. They were out of it. They had sold out. So it is very, very popular. So E-class gas is the form of elderberry and oil. No, it's a syrup. It's a berry, and it's a delicious, delicious berry. I used to go to the mulberry trees, and I'm looking forward to it because by the end of June, mulberries are ripe, and I just stand there and I eat them fresh off the tree because it's so many properties that are healthy in that. But people make mulberry tea, but in this particular case, elderberry syrup is excellent.
Mm-hmm. So what kind of diffuser do you use, Linda? Do you have a preference?
I really don't.
And how much oil do you add?
I wouldn't add more than 5 drops into the water because the oil is so strong that your entire house is going to overwhelm it.
Yes. Yes.
So start out with 5.
Yes.
What would I use for mosquito bites? Let me tell you, I have had many bites. It seems like I'm allergic to, susceptible rather, to plants. In fact, I went to St. Martin with Paula once and came back with a serious rash because we went, what were we doing? We were doing zip lining, and we had to
Zip
climb up
lining.
zip lining, and we had to climb up the trees. And I came back. I must have touched a vine, and it can be rough, but there are oils that oregano with in a paste. You can use baking soda and make a paste and put that there. I would do that with the mosquito bites as well.
Mm-hmm. Somebody asked, Linda, it looks like it was Joanne, is it safe to take elderberry on a daily basis or only when
The
you
bottle
feel?
suggests that you take it every day. They do suggest it every day. I don't take it every day because I don't want my body to become accustomed to it. But the bottle suggests using it every day to boost your immune system, and it's safe for children because again, it's a berry. That's all it is. It's
It's
a
a berry.
concentrated form of the berry. Yeah. Again, in
So,
the health food.
so Galaxy S8, we need to know your name. So I don't have to keep calling you Galaxy S8. But she asked, I saw online that elderberry needs to be cooked or else it is poisonous. So I buy Sambuca oil, Sambuca, which is like a
Yes,
syrup.
yes, that's the form of
Right.
elderberry.
Mhm.
Yes, and that is a syrup. I was saying that elderberry is a syrup. Yes. So when you buy it in the stores, they've taken those precautions and made sure that it's been cooked down into a syrup. It's not just plain elderberry that you're getting.
Okay, so the diffuser we talked about, just want to make sure JPP's question was answered. She mentioned is there one with the sticks?
Can I get it for you? I'll show
Yeah,
it to
that
you
would be
right.
awesome.
Sure. Hold on.
Thank you.
This is the one I use. Comes off. You put the water. You have it plugged in. I found a little trick, by the way. If you don't clean the inner part that kind of heats up, it won't produce the steam, the distillation. So make sure that's, taken care. There's also the other oval ones. That's the ones that I sent to my mother and my mother-in-law. But I got this at a health food store. Whole Foods sells them. Amazon has them.
Okay, great, thank
The
you.
sticks are the incense, and I do like sticks.
Yeah.
For
Oh, okay,
cleansing.
okay. Lisa's question was about what did you use for the nasal bath during the height of COVID? I heard Epsom salt and water, but what oils?
Okay, I would either put the peppermint oil in it, or the wild orange, even the basil. Sometimes what else? Sometimes the eucalyptus. Eucalyptus is powerful. At
Yes.
the health food stores, they were selling very large bottles of eucalyptus during the COVID, onslaught, because those who knew to go get that. So I just took one or two drops at least two, into the water. Make your tent
Mm-hmm.
with the towel so that the steam is contained within your tent, and breathe it in. It's really
Right.
nice.
Okay, that's great. Yeah, thank you, Linda. So let me see. I think I hopefully I got to everybody's
No,
questions
Joanne said, is it really necessary to use distilled
oh,
water with a
with the
diffuser?
diffuser.
Um, um, I think that's your option. I like the filtered water because I have a filter on my faucet. I like the filtered water because I'm putting that into my body, and I don't want any of the particles that may be in the pipes to go into my body because the pipes are old. That's the danger. It's not necessarily the water, it's the pipes. So that's why I use filtered water.
Yes. Okay.
Even when I'm giving my cat her water, I use filtered water because that's what I drink, you know.
Another question Iklas had, does anyone have a natural remedy for high blood pressure other than garlic?
Hawthorn berries.
Well, I'm sorry, what's it
Hawthorn
called, Linda?
Hawthorn berries, Hawthorne, was recommended by Dr. Witherspoon for Thomas's high blood pressure. When he went back to the doctor, they asked him, well, what have you done? And he said, I don't know, I just used what she told me. So E-Class, we can talk about that further, you know. Hawthorn berry. Someone else said that as well. Oh, you wrote it.
I did.
Deborah.
Hopefully I spelled it correctly. Yeah. Yeah. So it's so funny, Linda, for everybody, because we're streaming on Facebook, everybody who's joining us now, we're doing an essential oils workshop, and we have wonderful Linda with us. And it was so funny when I got Linda's bio, I was like, okay, who are you? I mean, you have a law degree, you know, bachelor's in psychology, all this wonderful procurement background, which I didn't even know all this about you. It's pretty amazing. So I did want you to share a little bit about, I think there's a nonprofit that you founded. Is that right? Or are working on?
I didn't found it. Thomas founded it. It's called Quest Youth Organization. It provides free musical services, musical lessons, music and vocal lessons to youth. And it's headquartered in Brooklyn. And right now, as I was saying at the start of this program, he was doing his lessons via Zoom. And Zoom had, like, you know, is so wonderful that you can take the students and put them in different rooms, and they're doing a video montage. But we have had much success, as much as we can, bringing them from knowing nothing to either being able to blow the horn and make sounds and overcome shyness by performing. Several of them have become professionals. We're really proud that they have gotten started. Yeah, 2 of them are graduating this year from college, and graduating from high school, going to college. And we're happy that they were with us. Another one who was like a little protege, she was a pianist and violinist, and she just received her master's in education. So it's wonderful watching them grow up. Yeah.
That's wonderful. That's awesome.
It's called Quest Youth Organization.
Okay, Quest Youth Organization. That's great. So we'll get back to the chat. It looks like Joanne shared that graviola leaves or soursop is good for high blood pressure as well. Do you have any experience taking those?
I don't have personal experience with that, but I have heard those are very good, yes. And Paula asked about joint pain and arthritis.
Yes.
And what I know from that is from my naturopathic doctor, and she said it's an accumulation of toxins in the joint, and cleansing is really a good first step for that. I can't give you more information on that one.
Okay. Okay, that's cool. And it looks like Carolyn asked if you were beginning with essential oils, what are the first 5 oils you would purchase? What do you think the first 5 oils should be?
I would purchase lavender, basil, eucalyptus, peppermint, and wild orange.
Yes, I have all of those almost.
Yay.
Yeah, so you said peppermint, wild orange, eucalyptus,
basil, oregano, and tea tree. A lot of people like tea tree. Let me diminish the power of tea tree. I had to throw that one in there. That was one of
Yes.
the first ones I started with, and tea tree it has the power unto itself.
Yes, tea tree is great. So yeah, I definitely agree. I use peppermint, eucalyptus, oregano, probably have to use that a little bit more. Tea tree was what, tea tree and lavender oil, as well as jojoba oil, was what my husband and I used on my head for 4 or 5 months because I was bald and I was putting on wigs. And I got to tell you, nobody tells you this when you go through losing all of your hair, but putting on wigs, if they're not like the wigs that the American Cancer Society provides, using those bands underneath, it's rough. But once my hair started to grow back, first it was soothing, for my head. And then once my hair started growing back, it really grew back real nicely, So that was like kind of two things that I was able to receive. The other experience that I wanted to make sure I shared was when I went through 14 months of treatment. So the first of the beginning of the treatment was the actual, being connected to IV and getting all the different treatment for months. And then after that, the surgery, which was a lumpectomy for breast cancer, which is stage 2 HER2 positive, which made it a little bit more aggressive of a breast cancer. But what I didn't know after the surgery was that I would have to go through 25 radiation treatments.
Wow.
And that is what kind of look, it all wreaked havoc with my system, but the radiation, I think I got to treatment 23 or 24, and that's when my skin started to peel. And it's not like peeling from a sunburn, it's healing, like coming off, So what I realized, I love being a woman because you know what, you go into treatment, there's other women in the same area with the same robes on. And some of us are going through treatment for breast cancer. And so we're just like, let me see yours. Let me see, you can look at mine, we're showing each other. It's like, oh my God, are you peeling? Yes, I'm peeling. What are you doing? So we're all peeling, we're talking. And I'll never forget, there was a wonderful Indian sister that I met, and I loved her so much because she said, honey, you have to use coconut oil on your skin. She said, what are you using? Because the doctors were telling me all this other medicated stuff, and my skin was, I remember my husband, I shared this with you, Linda, my husband going to CVS 3 times in one day because my skin was coming off. And I'm talking about 2nd, 3rd degree burns, and we didn't know what to do. So what ended up happening was I was getting wrapped over at Memorial Sloan Kettering just to kind of hold me together and everything. They were putting different salves and stuff on there, but I got to tell you, that coconut oil like was really healing to me. And I use it now. This is a 1.5 years later. I started using it back then, and I've never let it go because it's all natural. And after you go through all that treatment, you don't want anything else into your system. You know what I mean? You just want to cleanse your system out. And so I know, even for my hair, I use coconut oil for my hair, for my skin now. For my neuropathy, sometimes there's a cocktail that includes tea tree and I think there's wild orange or marjoram.
Oh, yes.
Yes. There's like 2 or 3 in a cocktail that I use. Sometimes it includes peppermint, and it provides some healing, some relief from the pain of neuropathy, which is really like numbness, quite frankly. So I just, wanted to make sure I dived in and shared that.
Yeah, and your skin looks beautiful now. It's glowing.
Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah, so you're a poster girl for the road back. And it sounds like this is what I found too, Deborah. Combinations. It's not just one alone. And the plants, the oils don't mind. They're forgiving.
They play nice together.
Yes, yes. they're not gonna hurt you with the combination.
Right.
So it's a good thing to try. I saw that, Reka, she said that she's using a mix of tea tree oil and peppermint to spray instead of Lysol, which we know is a chemical. We want to spray it all over. She used that at the beginning of the COVID-19 outbreak, and that I'm sure was a good.
Okay. Okay. That's great. Yeah, that's excellent.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, it's just so it's let me see. I think
It's
Galaxy
not margarine.
Maddie or Maddie.
No,
Maddie?
Galaxy asked what it is, but it's not marjoram. It's
It's Matt. It's
MAJO.
yeah. Maddie is Galaxy S8. So Maddie said, "Is it marjoram?" I think it's. I think it's MAR.
It's not
J-
margarine. It's marjoram. And there it is. Reka wrote it right there. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Someone asked, let me see, how would you use oils as a cleanse?
Internally, if they're speaking internally, you have to be very careful because it's so powerful. They don't recommend using essential oils internally.
Yes, I agree. I agree. I mean, this is, keep in mind, everybody that's listening, that's on a Zoom call, that maybe will see this on Go Wellness Circle or see this on Facebook. This is our disclaimer. This is our experience, okay? This is our experience. We're not doctors. We're not nurses. This is our experience and kind of what we've seen. And I really concur to Linda, considering I would never know that you had any of these health challenges. I mean, are you kidding me? I mean, all of these health challenges that you have, I'm like, how, where, it's amazing.
I feel so fortunate, so blessed that again, I've had people help me along. When I go to the neurologist, the first thing I'll tell you, he said to me out here, because I had to get one, I'm from New York and I moved here and I needed to have a neurologist out here. He wanted me to take medication. I said, why take medication after 20 years I have it? I said, I tell you what, we'll do an MRI, the scan of the spine, because that's what the attack is, the autoimmune disorder, and we'll compare it from the one I had in 2014. If there's any changes, negative changes, then I'll consider medication. If not, I'm not. Sure enough, there were no changes. And if I had not been active and persistent and really worked on for myself, I would have been taking medication. But
Yes.
we have to be our own best advocate because the doctors will really try and lead you down the primrose path. All the medication they had at the beginning of my discovery of the multiple sclerosis were all experimental. And no one knew what it was caused by. My naturopathic doctor was able to do a body scan and determine my adrenal glands were weak. And we worked on that. And we were able to fortify my system. Not that I'm totally healed, the scars are on inside my body. And I'm careful with things that I do, but I have had healings that have been very effective.
Yes, yes.
I'm
And I think
grateful.
also what I'm just so in awe about with you too, Linda, is just the MS. Like the people that I've met with MS usually are walking with a cane or walking, or in a wheelchair. And when I hear about, these different challenges, it's not even just the MS. I'm just amazed because you work out with us at the gym, at least when, before the
And
pandemic.
dance.
You swim, you're
Yeah.
busy, you're active, and nobody would know.
No, they're always surprised. I have there's different forms of MS. There's a progressive, and then there's a relapsing remitting, back and forth. They had diagnosed me with the relapsing remitting. But as it turned out, and I'm not trying to, bring people into my total health journey, but having been diagnosed with celiac disease in February of last year, and finding out in my research that that could have been a causative factor of multiple sclerosis. It wasn't necessarily multiple sclerosis out of nowhere. It was my gut and the problems because celiac is an autoimmune disorder. My teeth and how weakened they are, and I've had dental work, is because I wasn't getting the necessary nutrient. Because when you have celiac disease and the wheat comes across the body or anything that you're not supposed to be ingesting, the villi in your stomach that should be like this and taking in all the nutrients, they see the wheat, oh! And so I wasn't getting the necessary nutrients I would want, needed. And then they'd open back up and I'd eat it again, not knowing. So it was a cascading effect. Again, being my own advocate, studying what I needed to know about my health, I am so conscientious now. Someone offered me a mango martini the other day made with, I said, what fruit is this liquor? Because I'm saying to myself, this is strong. I don't know if I can drink it. Really, it was my body saying, no, don't drink it. Because I said, what is it? Vodka, she said. I said, okay. Is the vodka made from grain or potatoes? She said, what? I said, let me see the vodka. It was from grain. And grain is wheat. Potatoes, I can do. Even Paula has the potato vodka at home, so we can have fun when we visit each other. But you have to be so conscientious of what is it that disturbs you, and stay on top of your healing. That's what it
Yes.
is, your
Yes.
healing.
Yes. Yeah, I think that's so important, just to be your own advocate. It's just really critical in whatever it is that you're dealing with. I think you go to the doctor, you get this diagnosis. I mean, whenever I hear about, something new that my doctor said, okay, Deb, you got this and you're dealing with this, I always try to see what can I do holistically to deal with this, because
Yeah.
sometimes with the medication, there's so many side effects, and then I'm recovering from that side effect. So post cancer for me, it just became my thing to always just like, let me start doing some research and let me talk to people and get a better understanding on what this condition is and what can I do holistically, to deal with any pain, any discomfort, or how do I live with this, without
Right.
being in discomfort all the time.
Medication isn't bad because, of course, there are times when we really need to take the medication.
Yes.
As long as
Absolutely.
we take it responsibly and deal with it afterwards, if you will, we'll be okay. I mean, the doctor told me I have a hypothyroidism, which is, and it's part of aging. And so she told me, this endocrinologist, she's really into natural healing. She told me about quercetin. Quercetin is amazing for all this allergy stuff. And it works like that. Quercetin, quercetin. It's fabulous. She told me about that, but she said, just try this Armour Thyroid to help your thyroid. And I did, and it has. So this is the first time in my life I am taking any kind of medication. In terms of, Paula just asked about reducing
Inflammation.
Inflammation is something that has also plagued me. And we have to look at the foods we eat to reduce the inflammation. I'm working on my gut because they say if you have your gut is your second brain, believe it or not, and it sends out so many transmitters. So one of the things that they say is if your gut is healthy, your body's going to be healthy, and it can help reduce the inflammation as well. And so probiotics, yes, ginger is an anti-inflammatory, as Red just said. I eat a lot of ginger, drink ginger tea in the mornings. I really stay on top of ginger. And turmeric, probiotics and prebiotics are really, and digestive enzymes are really, really important. And as it was just said, very true, gut is the second brain.
Yes.
So don't sleep that gut.
Yeah.
I've had all my life. I've had problems. Little did I knew, as an infant, even I was sensitive to certain foods. But now it's getting back in order, and oh, so much is opening up in my life that I never would have thought of before because I was living in a fog and didn't know it. I
Mm,
didn't know it because even with the law and
mhm,
I taught as an adjunct lecturer in law and all
mhm,
that and all these things I wanted to accomplish, but it was hard. It was like going through with concrete on my feet to achieve. But now everything's opening up and it feels
mhm,
so much lighter. It's amazing. That's because I've been working on my gut
mhm.
and dealing with the celiac, and I feel so
Yes,
good.
yes, definitely.
Um,
So I think
I
what
can't
I,
believe I'm coming out of COVID with good things.
yes, absolutely. I think maybe I love that we talked about like just some things that we could do to boost our immune system because, just not to be the bearer of bad news, but if there's a surge, which it's been talked about in the fall, how do we protect ourselves? How do we, boost our immune systems as we prepare? I mean, and you know what? A surge could happen well before the fall.
Yeah,
What kinds of things do we need to do? I love the elderberry because I've always heard really good things about it. Um, there was something
can I
else
say
that you mentioned that,
three? At least get your vitamin C, your multivitamins on a daily basis.
mhm,
Uh, zinc. Zinc with quercetin, according to the endocrinologist, it's that quercetin really is a serious immune booster. Um, so
how do
I'm
you
just
spell the carcinogen? Did you say carcinogen?
quercetin, Quercetin, quercetin. Look it up. It works on.
I see
There
it.
it is.
Yep.
You can use it for the. I never knew I was allergic to tree pollen, and I can feel this tingling, this horrible fire tingling from it. And I take two quercetins, and it's good to go. Um, Sea moss. Sea moss has 92 minerals. Sea moss mixed with bladderwrack. Olive May sells it already. There's someone who is making it and selling it in the store. I put it in my smoothie every morning. Sea moss, Irish moss, some people call it. Fabulous. 92 minerals are in sea moss.
Hmm.
So
Yes.
um, we have to again work on that gut because mucus is actually slime in the body, which can hold the virus and germs. You can use garlic and cayenne to clean your system. The garlic, I mean, the ginger is going to work wonderfully. We just have to keep that um, sea moss. It was asked is mixed with what? Sea moss. If you go to any of the natural food stores that are around, they sell it in packages. You can boil it. It's also called Irish moss. And you boil it, it becomes like a gel. You cool it, you can put tablespoon in your smoothie and things like that. And it's really, really good.
Hmm. Okay. Thank
And
you,
again,
Linda.
Olive May Smoking Store, they sell it already made for those who are out here in this area of New Jersey.
Hmm. Definitely. Good stuff. This is great. I hope everybody really enjoyed this. I think what I want to do now is open it up. We've been taking everybody's questions in the chat. So, you guys can unmute yourselves and we could have a hard stop to finish up by about 6:45, 6:50 or so. So I think if everybody unmutes, and if you have any additional questions for Linda or, any points that you want to bring up, now's the
How do
time.
we
Or
get in
Deborah.
How do we get in contact with Linda or you? Or I'm new here. This is
Yeah,
Maddie.
okay. Well, welcome. Welcome to the call. So let me just do another little plug for the Gold Wellness Circle. That was really, to be honest with you, it's kind of the culmination of a dream because post breast cancer, I knew I wanted to do more in the wellness space. I just didn't know that I would be creating a wellness platform in response to a pandemic. So I didn't, that wasn't what I was trying to do. So if everybody has registered, we can go ahead and send you, any information that you need as well. And then we could always put Linda's information on the chat as well. But yeah,
Awesome.
you're on Gold Wellness Circle, and you registered, everybody automatically, if you want to participate in any of our classes. We're always going to keep doing these classes as long as we feel like they're needed. So this one's on essential oils. Next Thursday, I'm going to do a Zumba jam again for the American Cancer Society, Making Strides. I think Elsie and Carolyn, a couple people came for that. So
Yeah, we
thank you so much for your support. And so I'll be doing that again next Thursday. But the following Thursday, we kind of flip back and forth because I own Light of Gold PR. So my company, my core business is PR, marketing, branding, digital, now helping a lot of companies do virtual events. And we really want to do something around career. Like what's your pivot going to look like? Some people have lost their jobs, or maybe they don't want to go back to the jobs that they had, or maybe they want to do something else. How do you navigate all of that stuff now? So the next one, not next Thursday, but the following Thursday, we're going to kind of, have some career and life coaches and just kind of talk about what that looks like. Because a lot of people out there, it's rough, and so we definitely want to do that next time as well. So yeah, Maddie, if you registered, you're good. You'll get all the information.
Okay, great.
Can I also mention that I am making face masks, and we're going to put some on the Gold Circle site so that you can see them, because it seems like mask wearing is going to be around for a while.
Yeah, it's going to be around. Yeah.
So we'll put a few up there.
Yeah.
And are you going to put my contact information for those who want to contact me, Deborah?
Yeah, I could do that. Okay. What we always try to do is we send like a follow-up email to everybody. Okay. If everybody registered, you'll get it. So we'll make sure.
Deborah?
Yes.
What was the name of the oil that you said you put on your hair after the cancer treatment?
Well, on my head, I used the tea tree and lavender oil, and the lavender oil was good for my head. The tea tree was great also for my head when it was bald. But the coconut oil, I started using that once my hair started to grow back.
Okay.
And I still use it now, but I also use it as a moisturizer. I don't use any over-the-counter anything anymore. I'm very conscious about putting more toxins, and this is, not judging anybody else, but once you had so many toxins pumped into you for 14 months, you just don't want to put any more in there. So yeah.
Deborah, didn't you mention that you use jojoba oil also?
And jojoba oil has been good too. Yeah, definitely.
By the way, I saw someplace, speaking of coconut oil, and I tried it. You can mix equal parts coconut oil and baking soda and make a toothpaste. It's good for tooth whitening.
Nice. I love that.
It's so simple. We already have the ingredients at home.
Yes, we already have it, right? That's so awesome. Right. I love that.
Yeah, try it.
Yeah, definitely. Anybody else? Any comments, questions? Don't be shy.
I have another question. You mentioned sea moss. What about seaweed or nori? Like the kind of stuff that they wrap sushi in, those little sheets of seaweed.
Dr. Witherspoon has suggested eating seaweed, and sea moss is literally from the sea as well. It gets the nutrients, it pulls the nutrients from the ocean. So yeah, it's along the same line, definitely.
Okay.
Right. Now, keep in mind, everybody, if you look in the lower right-hand side, if you open up your chat, you can save the information that was in the chat. So, and I always try to save it just in case everybody doesn't get it, but it's those 3 dots next to file. If you click it, you can save the chat and you can catch, you know, all the information that was put in there. Yeah,
Right.
so,
And a lot of people have left, I see.
I'm sorry,
Let's
what'd you
see.
say, Linda?
Like Elsie is left and
Yeah.
Reka.
Reka and Rita. Yeah, but we
Yeah.
still have a lot of folks still on with us. Let me put us
Oh, okay.
on, I'll put us in gallery. Yeah, we still have quite a few of us. So don't forget, we have yoga tomorrow, 12 noon. We got Cassandra teaching yoga, 12 noon, and then we have restorative yoga at 4. And I gotta tell you guys, I literally, to help me deal with stress and anxiety, I'm literally working out just about every day. Tomorrow's my bike riding day, but I'm gonna stretch it out with Cassandra at 12, and then I'm gonna do restorative yoga at 4. If you go to Gold Wellness Circle, you'll see all of the stuff that we have going on. And we're just gonna keep adding stuff to it. And I think what's nice about this is also getting a chance to like connect, to talk, to share. Sometimes you just need to just do a call and just share from a wellness standpoint. A lot of our fit family, our fitness people, we have a wellness check-in on Sundays. We can also do the same thing and just check in with each other. And sometimes it helps, you know, we feel so isolated and we're like alone together, right? You know, we're alone, but we're sort of alone together when we get on these calls. So always feel free to reach out to me if you're interested in doing just like a call where we just kind of, you know, talk. And poor Wanda's been struggling with this migraine headache. And I hope that you can get some relief from it, because she's usually very talkative and vibrant, and she's like hurting right now. Poor
I
baby.
am. That I am.
Oh, poor baby.
I'm so sorry.
That I am.
Yeah.
But I have used lavender before, so I know that
Okay.
does work. So I
Don't forget to
definitely
press
will
those
try some of the
points.
other things.
And press the pressure points. Yes.
The pressure
Right in
point.
there.
Yes. Yeah,
Okay.
Wanda and I went to college together as well. So got a lot of my college buddies on the call. So, oh, poor thing.
Iona in the house.
Yes, Iona College in New Rochelle. Woo, woo, woo. So,
Migraines are so bad that you can understand why ancient peoples used trephining. You really feel like you want to open up your skull and let the demons out. It's awful.
yeah. It's a lot. It's a lot. And people are struggling right now mentally, emotionally. And the thing that has helped me has been the exercise and the breathing. The breathing, the exercise just about every day brings normalcy back into my life. You know, I'm on Zoom calls every day, you know, but the normalcy comes from the exercise. I just keep moving, connecting with people. And, you know, I believe that we're all going to get on the other side of this, but there is going to be a lot of PTSD, a lot of stress. People have lost loved ones, you know, so we feel like with this platform, we want to be able to pay it forward and help other people. We've been doing fundraisers for Food Bank of New York, for the American Cancer Society. So we just, you know, any support that we can get by working collaboratively, just like Linda and I are doing by doing this call, we want to keep doing this because the people are going to need some help for a minute. We're going to need some help for a minute. Not just other people.
I have an interesting story that has nothing to do with anything important, but I have an interesting connection to Iona College because I grew up in New York and I went to a small little church called St. Luke's, which was right in New Rochelle, little tiny church on like a side street, like a closed alleyway. And we loved that church so much that we started looking for homes in the area. At the time, I was at Albert Einstein in the Bronx in New York. And we started looking for homes in the area. And we were very close to buying the house behind Iona College. And the only reason we did it is because it had circular wiring. Like it was that old that it
Wow.
had circular wiring. Otherwise, we would have bought that house, and I would have had a deeper connection to you guys.
You would have. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. You sure would have.
Okay, that's it. It was. I told you it was not
Thank you.
important.
Thank you, JPB.
Excellent.
I said, hey, listen, that's what this is about. If you want to share mindless, meaningless chat, you can do that.
Yeah, sometimes
You're
it gets
in-
too heavy.
you're in a safe space. It's all
Right,
good.
right.
Thank you. That was cute though. All right, ladies. Well, if there is nothing else that nobody else wants to share, we could close out. Thank you so much for being here. Make sure you just make your self-care numero uno. I do a lot of women's wellness events that were born also from my breast cancer journey. Still got to keep taking care of you, no matter what. You got to advocate for yourself, advocate for yourself all the time, and you have to take care of yourself. Numero uno, you're number one. And it doesn't matter who your partner is, whether you have kids, parents, because if you don't take care of yourself first, how are you going to take care of anybody else? You can't.
That's what they tell you when you're in the airplane. This is the
Put the
flight
mask.
attendant. Put your mask on first before you help the next person.
Put your mask on first. Put your mask
Good
on.
advice. Take care of yourself first, because otherwise you can't take care of
Absolutely.
anybody else.
Take care of yourself first, and don't ever feel like you have to apologize for that. Like you shouldn't be. Don't let anybody make you feel guilty for it. I don't care who it is. You have to do that for yourself. You deserve it. And so I want to thank you all for joining the call. I learned a lot. Thank you, Linda. Good
Thank
job.
Linda.
Thank you.
I'll
So
send you some Ricky energy, Rhonda.
Yes. So we'll get, and Linda always has some really good tips and stuff like that. We'd love to feature that on the site and upload some, great tips to help people. We do have like a COVID-19 area with all sorts of resources on the Gold Wellness Circle. So check that. And, if you own a business looking for a job, changing your career, there's always resources that cross my desk, and I always try to put it on the site. And, feel free to check in. But now that you registered, you're in. You family now. You can't get out.
We're not going nowhere.
Show people your face masks, either now or on this platform some kind of way, because they're really beautiful.
Oh yeah, they are gorgeous. So we're going to try to get some of the face masks on the platform too. We want to do a charm bracelet. One of my friends kind of designs jewelry. Just something like be calm, be still, something, use that as a fundraiser. So we got a lot of things coming down the pike. I mean, I'm just excited to see, how far it's come since March, because I literally put together the website in 3 days. Seriously.
Great job.
Beautiful.
3 days. So now it's just brimming with all sorts of activities. So you got to go there and check it out. And I will be emailing all of you. But thank you so much for joining the call. Have a wonderful night.
Thank you.
Thank you, Linda.
Thank you very much, Deb.
Make sure you
Thank
join
you.
us tomorrow.
And
I'll be
everyone.
at yoga tomorrow with Cassandra. So
I'm
join
going to be
us.
on yoga tomorrow too.
Yes.
Bye-bye.
Get your stretch on.
It's a stretch.
All right.
Virtual
Take
hugs,
care.
everybody.
Virtual hugs.
Virtual hugs.
Virtual
Linda,
hugs.
thank you.
Yes.
Thank you, Linda.
Yes.
Thank
Thank
you, Deb.
you.
Thank you.
Take care. Have a good
Bye.
All
one.
right, bye.
Bye. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Thank you. Take care. All right, Facebook. We are about to drop off. Thank you for being with us, Facebook. I hope you learned a lot too. Sorry I couldn't do double duty and check the questions over there, but if you have questions, I'll make sure we get them over to Linda. And hopefully we'll do this again. Take care. Bye-bye.